Hello there, warriors! Do you want to take your Next.js coding skills to the next level this year? Stick around till the end of this video because I'm going to share with you 5 coding tips in Next.js, with number 3 being my favorite, that will make your projects stand out in 2024. You don't want to miss this. Let's dive in. Tip number 1 is use functional components. When working with Next.js, always opt for functional components over class components. They're easier to read, test, and they come with hooks. Here's a simple example. Simplicity is the key here. We can do everything the same in functional components like in class components using hooks. So here we are going to import useState by React, and don't forget, in Next.js, for all components using hooks, you need to put useClient flag. And tip number 2 is use Next.js Image Component. The Next.js Image Component extends the HTML IMG element with features for automatic image optimization. There are 4 important features that we have with Image Component. We have size optimization, where we automatically serve correctly sized images for each device using modern image formats like WebP. Visual stability, preventing layout shift automatically when images are loading. Also faster page loads, images are only loaded when they enter the viewport using native browser lazy loading with optional blur up placeholders. And fourth is asset flexibility. On-demand image resizing even for images stored on remote servers. And check out how easy it is to use Image Component. Check this out. This is literally everything we need to do to get our 4 features that we were talking about. We just need to import image from Next.js. And finally, number 3, my favorite, that's partial pre-rendering. That's a compiler optimization for dynamic content with a fast initial static response. Partial pre-rendering uses suspense from React to defer rendering parts of your application until some condition is met. For example, data is loaded. So to test this one out, we have a fake API call with a set timeout of 2 seconds that we are going to call on our page with the suspense from React, and as a fallback we are calling OrcDev component, which is just some div that is going to be a fallback for our image. So if we check our web page, now we are getting first our skeleton. When I refresh again, skeleton, and then our image. Cool, right? Tip number 4 is Next.js server actions. What if you didn't need to manually create an API route? Instead, you could define a function that runs securely on the server called directly from your React components. As of version 14, Next.js server actions are finally stable. While using server actions through a form is helpful for progressive enhancement, it is not a requirement. You can also call them directly as a function without a form. When using TypeScript, this gives you full end-to-end type safety between the client and server. Here is a simple example of server actions. We are just using this useServer flag in our function. We are calling the data and we are going to console log it after getting that data. Instead, we see that our console log went in our terminal, which means that it's on the server side. And final tip number 5 is use Next.js Link Component. Next.js Link Component allows you to do client-side navigation between pages in your application. It is the primary way to navigate between routes in Next.js. Check how easy it is to use it. You just import Link Component from Next.js, and instead of a href that you would usually use, you just use that link. Now when I press our barracks link here, we are going to the route barracks, and our page is not refreshing. We can go home again and it feels like a single page application. So we are using client-side navigation by Next.js. And there you have it, warriors, 5 Next.js tips for your projects. If you want more tips like this, Don't forget to subscribe.